Got it.
Hello, everyone. I'm Cinay, and welcome to this week's Technotalk. Here we discuss STEM-related topics with special guests to inform people and give them our perspective on modern concepts. Without further ado, let's greet our special guest of the week. Hello, Steve. First off, you can tell us a bit about yourself.
Hi, Chennai. Thank you for having me. It's very cool what you're doing. I've looked at your work. I'm very impressed by you. You've done amazing things up until now in your life, and you should be proud of yourself.
Thank you so much.
So enough about you. Let's talk about me. Um, so I studied business and marketing. I'm originally from New York, from Long Island, and I studied business and marketing at a school there, a private school called Hofstra. And then I worked for a while in sales in New York City, and then I went back to school and got my master's degree in management. And in between those two, let's say, stories, I went to Poland with ISEC. I don't know if you're familiar with ISEC, AIESEC, and I am an ISEC marriage. So I went to Poland on an internship, and I met a Turkish girl there. So like always happens, the American goes to Poland and comes home with a Turkish wife. So we got our master's degrees together, me and her. Her name is Aisha. And then after we graduated, we came here to Turkey, and that was in 1996, and I've been here since
Wow.
then. I've had a lot of roles. I worked as district sales manager at Xerox. I was the director of the American Chamber of Commerce here. I set up my own company. I ran my own business for 9 years. Then I worked at universities for a while, and now I've set up my own business again. That's my life story.
Okay, amazing work. Can't wait to hear more. And let's just dive into today's topic then, the trends in career and self-development. In the realm of career and self-development, much like rapid innovations, we find trends that are reshaping how we approach personal growth and professional success. From honing personal branding and navigating the blend of technical expertise and soft skills to embracing mindfulness practices, these trends intersect health, happiness, and achievement on the path of self-discovery. This webinar unveils these transformative trends, offering insights and strategies that parallel the progressive advancements propelling us towards a holistic excellence. So, to start with, what are the best practices for building a strong personal brand and online presence to stand out to potential employers or clients?
Okay, that's a very, very good first question. So, first of all, I believe that what we call skills should be, or actually, we don't even use the word skills anymore. We use the word competencies. I believe that competencies should be a combination of two things. It should be something that you, of course, do very well, but it should also be something you love. And I often give the examples of mathematics and guitar. So I'm very good at math, but I hate it. So I wouldn't call it a skill. And I love to play my guitar, but I'm terrible. So that's not a skill. So I believe that a competency or a skill or an ability is really best described as something that you do very well and you just love doing it, and the time goes quickly when you do it. So I believe your personal brand should be based on these competencies, the things that you do well and the things that you love. So in terms of personal brand, I think the foundation that a lot of people, particularly in America, forget, because we're a very superficial nation where we're just trying to sell things quick and get rich quick and make a lot of money fast and do as little as possible. I think my best advice for building your personal brand is to become excellent at what you do. If you are a software programmer, you should know your code. You should know everything about it, the newest developments, the bugs, all the details. Or if you're a teacher, you should know the field that you're teaching in and out. You should always be updating yourself. So I'll end with at least this question by saying, I believe one of the most important things for your personal brand is something called LQ. So everyone's talking about IQ, everyone's talking about EQ, intelligence,
Yeah.
emotional intelligence. I believe the most important one is LQ. It's learning intelligence, the ability to learn. So to build your personal brand, I believe you have to be someone who's a thought leader. You're an information center. You know everything about your field, or as not everything, but as much as possible, and you're continually reading, learning, meeting with other people in your field, and developing yourself. And I'm sorry if that answer was too long, but I had a lot of
No,
coffee.
that was a great explanation. It is also kind of evident that in today's digital age, like authenticity and consistency are key too. So like to be like the best in what you're doing, at least like knowing everything about your field, like even a little bit about everything is really important, I think. And like the information, I think will surely help our viewers stand out to like potential employers or clients in the future as well. I hope so. Also, the next question is, technology roles often require both technical expertise and soft skills, as you said. As a talent manager for technology positions, how do you identify candidates who possess the right balance, and how can aspiring tech professionals develop these skills?
Okay, that's a good question too. So as I said a moment ago, you have to have the technical expertise. I mean, you really have to know your stuff. But that's just the beginning, because what I've found is in project management, when there are big projects, large projects, long-term projects that a technical team gets together on, these projects often have the most problems, not because there's a technical problem, but because of personalities that are involved. So my advice is you should really work on your ability to work well with others, and that starts with working on yourself. And of course, I have to take this opportunity of this interview with you to talk about my new book. So I just wrote a book called Why Are We Here? And it's a book about self-discovery, self-development, and of course, building your career success. And one of the things I talk about in that book, and this is a direct answer to your question of what I recommend to these technology people, is work on yourself. Not only on your technical knowledge, but work on yourself in terms of, are you sleeping enough? Are you eating healthy foods? Are you exercising? And hopefully also meditating and practicing mindfulness, because these are the things that will move you from just being mediocre or average in your career to being someone that everybody wants to work with. You catch your boss's eye, you catch the customer's eye. They see that you're someone who's excellent to work with, and then you can move up very quickly in your career.
So kind of being like well-rounded in every like area, not just being like technical, all theory-based, just also like knowing how to kind of connect with people and do like networking activities also in a sense, right?
Absolutely. And there's a great word in English it's a funny word. I think it comes from Latin. It's a prima donna. I don't know if you know what a prima donna is.
I heard it.
A prima donna is somebody who's usually very good at their job. They know it, and they're not trying to cooperate with other people. They think they're the prince, they're the princess, and they don't have to listen to anybody else. So prima donnas are the absolute biggest nightmare in a project team. So you want to be working with people that get along well with other people.
That's true.
And the prima donnas have to solve themselves first. Only they can solve themselves.
Yeah. These are also valuable insights for these questions also. So, and like, I think people should be adaptable and also like collaborative also for teamwork as well. Like I've done a lot of teamwork projects in the past too for my like tech related projects. And I feel like teamwork, like getting along with a team and like doing like just like task distributions is like really key thing to kind of work together. So I also agree with all that you said in that too. So, okay, next question is a bit about mindfulness. So in your view, how can the integration of mindfulness practices foster better collaboration, problem solving, and innovation among tech teams working on complex projects?
Okay, this is again very related to my other two answers. Mindfulness is all about just being in that moment, being aware of your moment, and just enjoying every moment, minute by minute. So mindfulness is the opposite of what most of us do all day long. And what most of us do all day long is we spend 99% of our time, don't quote me on that statistic, but we spend most of our time worrying about the future or regretting things we did in the past. And you'll be in a project, a very difficult, complex project, and the customer's waiting for it, your manager's waiting for results. Everything, of course, is behind deadline. Everything that could go wrong is going wrong. And, you're there like worrying about, what's going to happen tomorrow instead of getting done now what you need to get done now. Also, looking at things that happened in the past. I shouldn't have done that. Maybe I should. Okay, but you did it. It's over. It's finished. So mindfulness is about focusing on what's in front of you right now. Are you writing a string of code? Are you trying to fix a bug? Instead of worrying about what happened yesterday or being angry at your boss because he didn't give you the right instructions or the customer changed what they want, and you sit there just, being resentful and having grievances against these people. Instead, just let things go, blow away these past regrets and these future worries like a cloud blowing in the wind, and focus on what you're working on. So mindfulness is one of the greatest techniques and tools you could use to get a project done, especially when there's lots of problems, the customer keeps changing the requirements, everything's behind deadline. You got to stay in the moment and not allow your emotions to take over.
That is true. That is also really true regarding like in like university life. When even like studying finals, everything like going on in the background, like with life, just like even being sick at that time, it just makes you feel so like pressured in that moment. So I just feel like we like putting everything in their own place and like just learning from your mistakes is really important in that process too. And you also told me that you kind of focus on like meditation and yoga that could help in this aspect. Like, could you tell us a bit about that as well?
Absolutely. So I'm actually a certified meditation instructor. I give courses on mindfulness at prestigious companies, universities, and non-governmental organizations. So people often combine these terms of mindfulness and meditation, but mindfulness is actually a state of mind, living in the moment. And meditation is a tool that helps us to achieve mindfulness. So I talk a lot, and yoga as well. So I talk a lot about how there's different ways to become mindful, to stay in the moment and to be in the moment. And the absolute best one is meditation. So with meditation, here's what I recommend. Consistency is more important than the amount of time. So you don't have to sit and meditate for 90 minutes. You could sit and meditate for 9 minutes or even 5 minutes, but you should do it every single morning. And meditation, what a lot of people don't understand is that meditation isn't something that you see a short-term result from. It's a long-term result. So I've had people that have said to me, Steve, I listened to you, I trusted you, I tried meditation and I don't feel different. I'm like, well, how long have you been meditating? They're like, I tried it for 2 days. So I started meditating in 2010. So it's 13 years now that I'm meditating every single morning, even if I'm sick or have a hangover or whatever. I sit down and I meditate every morning. And I didn't see results in 2010 or 2011, 2012. I saw the results. Now, when I look back, I realize I'm able to handle stress better. I'm able to manage my emotions better. I don't shout at people. I don't walk out. I don't quit. I don't cancel things. So meditation allows you to just become a very calm, capable, healthy person that just becomes far more productive.
That's cool. Yeah. That will really help for like any like for students and even like workers in every field as well, because like just like the stress of life, just not thinking about that in like a moment of the day would definitely help like a lot of people. So I can definitely get into like meditation as well.
That's a good point, Cinay. You don't have to just meditate in the morning. I mean, if you're having a bad day, you could just go to an empty room or even go into the toilet and just get quiet, close your eyes. Meditation is all about just breathing very deeply and evenly, shutting your eyes. And you could do that throughout the day, anytime you're having a stressful moment.
Yeah. Thank you for that as well. Thank you for the tips. And also returning back to your book, Why Are We Here? A Guide to Self-Discovery, Self-Development, Health and Happiness and Success. You address like multiple aspects such as health, happiness, and success. Like how do these elements intersect, and why is it important to consider them collectively on the journey of self-discovery?
That is such a cool question. I believe that everything is systemic. Everything is part of a system. Everything is connected. I don't believe there is separateness. Now, I'm going to try not to get too spiritual here, or, you'll just cancel my interview. But everything is connected. And I don't understand, like, all right, so I live in a very nice neighborhood of Istanbul. And there's a lot of really nice cars in this neighborhood, like Bentleys, Lamborghinis, Porsches. And a little fun game that I do is I always look inside these luxury cars and I look at the people behind the wheel. More than half the time, most of the time, they look miserable. They do not look happy. They do not look joyful. They look extremely stressed, unhappy, angry, anxious. So my question to you is, what good is it to be successful financially and with your career if you're just not sleeping at night, you're not healthy, you're fighting with everybody, you don't have good friendships, you don't have a good relationship with your partner, or you don't have a partner, maybe you're abusing drugs and alcohol, you're eating McDonald's every day because you don't have time to go and eat a good meal. So everything is connected. And I believe that health, happiness, and success they can't be separate. How can you be happy if you're not healthy? Or how can you be happy if you're not successful? You're going to be upset because you've got a medical problem or a health problem. And it's the same thing with success. How can you consider yourself truly successful if you're not happy in your private life, if you're miserable, you've got a lot of money, you got a Rolex on your wrist, but you're miserable? So health, happiness, and success, you cannot possibly separate these things, in my opinion. And anybody out there who disagrees from me, I'd be happy to get an email or a text from you.
Okay. Well, thank you for sharing how the book addresses all these interconnected things. And it's inspiring to understand like these elements are interconnected and play a vital role in achieving a well-rounded and a fulfilling life, in a sense. So I will definitely adapt some tips from this webinar to my daily life as well. So that's a good point for me.
Good.
Yeah, well, that was another inspiring discussion. And thank you again so much to Steve for joining us this week. Dear viewers, don't forget to keep up with our posts and additional events on our page Technotalks and YouTube channel. And if you haven't watched our previous videos, please go check them out. See you next week with another interesting topic. Bye. Thank you.
Bye, everybody.